22. We are so back. And maybe the Miami Hurricanes are so back, but we shall see. Anyways, welcome everybody back to my college football series where I'm talking to people from the teams that I feel like will have a dramatic impact on the season this year. So whether they win or they lose, it is going to impact the season this year. So I am very strategic on the teams that I picked. There's going to be teams that did not get picked, and that is not my problem. And the most important part of this is to make sure that my phone is talking to me, by the way. The most important part of this for me is to make sure that I talk to people that I feel like are going to add value to the season and that are good teams. So I picked Miami because if Miami does not win the ACC, we're in trouble. because of the rules and how everything has changed and how everything is shaping up. So I am here with Street. I will let him introduce himself however he wants to introduce himself. And then we are just going to get started to let everybody know a little bit more about these Miami Hurricanes.
What's going on? Want me to introduce myself now?
Introduce yourself. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm Street Man from Footballville. I created something called Footballville and then branched into something called Caneville. We have Footballville and we have Caneville. Over 1 million followers across social media. You can also come follow us on kick.com/Footballville. But I created a media company maybe 10 years ago. And because we were such Hurricane fans, we realized we had to separate the Cane content from the Footballville content because the kids in the community were going to different schools, and we supported the kids first. So we separated two, and now we have Caneville with over 36,000 Twitter followers, probably over 50,000, 60,000 followers across social media, if I'm guessing, and then we have Footballville with over 1 million followers across social media. So yeah, I'm big time. I mean, I don't know what else been up here, but I'm big time. I don't give a fuck going on. Like.
I'm the big fish. I am in the A. What do they call it in boxing? The A side of the boxing ring. Like you get to dictate the terms.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Right.
I love that. I love that. So tell me about Miami. Like, what is the biggest story that you feel like is surrounding Miami right now? We all know they went to the national championship game. We all know that story. But like heading into this season, like what is your storyline about Miami? What do you think about the team? Like, what is something that you just feel like you're hearing often, whether it be from fans or just big media? Like, what do you feel like is a storyline that's really surrounding the team this year?
Oh yeah, Malik Tony being on the front of college football, NCAA, which is he's a kid that I covered since he was 8 years old, and I text his mom regularly. We talk about things, but yeah, I mean, for me, it's different when it comes to media because, like you said, what's the story about Miami? Well, it's a kid I covered since he was 8, right? He's on the front of EA Sports NCAA football, and that's kind of surreal. Right. It's kind of surreal. So when it comes to Footballville, that is a huge story for us.
Yeah.
But as a team outside of that, Miami and Vegas is picking Miami, like these odds that they have for Miami to win the national championship, win the ACC. It's crazy for me. It's like holy crap! Like they've jumped completely on the bandwagon, and they're saying Miami is like the favorite, top 3 to win the championship, and it's so that story and because Cristobal has never did that before. He's never won a national championship. Last year they got there, right? That's the furthest he's have ever been. They lost to Indiana. I was at the game on the sideline because I'm big time. I mean, I don't know, but
I don't know about you, but
but yeah. So it's the fact that Vegas has jumped on the bandwagon, and rightfully so. Miami lands Darian Mensah, arguably the best quarterback in college football. I know you'll probably say Art Manning. I don't know, but they land Darian Mensah.
This is your episode. You're the A side. I'm the B side. You get to say whatever you want.
Right. So on paper, I've seen people picking Miami offense as the best offense in football with Mark Fletcher, who I think is finna run roughshod over college football. The light turned on in the playoffs. Malik Tony, 1,200 yards last year. I think 14 touchdowns or 12 touchdowns. It can only get well. Can it get better for him?
It can get better.
That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Can it?
But it can get better. I mean,
it can.
Yeah, it can. And
And
I think
the
that's what's impressive
uh-huh.
it can get better. So,
Right. He
right.
did it as a freshman, right? And freshmen usually sputter at some point in time,
Mhm.
right? And he
Mhm.
put up over 100 catches, over 1,000 yards. And then you put him on the field with a Cooper Barcade. So the stories that are coming out and the expectation of the team, to me,
Yes.
to me is a huge story when you're talking about the Canes and what's going on there.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think your biggest strength is? Like, if you could just look at this team and you're like, you know what? At the end of the day, if everything else fails, I know for a fact we're going to be able to. What is that for you?
Run the ball. I think even with the offensive line coming back and it's not they don't have CC anymore and they're the Green Giant, I forget his name, we lost
Yeah.
him. But
Yeah.
I still think Mark Fletcher is going to be top five best running backs in college football, running behind a offensive line culture that I think may be the best in college football. I believe they're going to line up and run the ball, and it's going to be a nightmare for defenses because if you can't stop that, you have no chance of stopping Mensah to Malachi, Mensah to Barcade.
Well, hello there. Make sure that you have hit that like button. Double check and make sure that you're subscribed to both of our channels if there is a channel attached to the collaboration. Double check and make sure that you follow us on all of our social media accounts because every single person that I'm speaking to has a social media account. And also, don't forget to enjoy this video and leave us a comment in the comment section below. Now, let me let you get back to your video. Do you I'll ask you that in a second. What's your biggest weakness? What is something that you're looking at this team and you're kind of like, oof, okay. Okay, let's cover that up. Or how, let's work through that. What is something that you're
Their
looking at and
biggest
you're
weakness because of the transfer portal, right? Like
mhm.
weaknesses now aren't what they were 5 years ago. If you ask the villains, our membership, what's the biggest weakness? They'll say our two linebackers who have 16 years of experience.
Okay.
Hey, combined or something crazy. Like they'll say that it's our biggest weakness. I mean, other than that, it's possible that Miami may start two freshman offensive tackles. It's possible
Mhm.
that that can
Mhm.
happen. So if you want to call those weaknesses, right? If you want to call those weaknesses, okay. But I don't know if it's going to benefit anybody that's playing us after the fourth game.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of my question is how do you feel like I know you said offensive line culture, which is interesting because you might have a really good point there with
Mhm.
the stability of Mario Cristobal's ability to make sure he has a solid offensive line. I was actually going to ask you about those tackles. Like, how do you feel like that could show up or do you feel like respectfully playing in the ACC it's going to help them develop, learn and do the things that they need to do
Mhm.
as the season goes on.
I think that, listen, I get in here with my Villa membership, and they try to convince me that having two offensive tackles possibly starting, freshmen starting is okay, and
Okay.
they're gonna grow up in at by the fourth game. That can be a problem. That can be a
Yeah.
problem early with Cantwell, who's the number one player in the nation, and then the other guy Cogden, who they say been playing really well, maybe a starter. That could be a problem. But what Mario Cristobal them have done with the offensive line and the culture, I think in the last 4 years, Mario has recruited more blue chip big guys, offensive
Mhm.
line, uh, than any team in the country. So that means
Mhm.
they literally have focused on that, right?
Mhm.
So that's the competition, right? And then you get Mirabal, who I think is one of the it doesn't look like an offensive line coach at all, but it's one of the most intense guys when it comes to offensive line, and he takes really pride in. He literally said, "Listen, if we have a bad year at offensive line, I'll cut off my right pinky toe or something crazy like that."
Okay.
Um, so yeah, so with that being the emphasis, I think that's where Miami see their value at. Like
Okay.
their value is in the trenches. That's where they spend their money, and that's what they have emphasized on. Um, I believe I don't forget. I don't talk so much. I don't forget what the question was.
No, we're talking about the offensive line.
Right. So I
You're
believe
talking
those
yourself
freshman
through being
tackles.
like it's going to be fine.
Right. I believe. I believe. I believe the freshman tackles could be a problem early. Right. But
Okay.
what's the worst can come from that? Darian Mensah get hit, knocked out the game. He come back for another year. that's,
Well,
that's what's the worst.
no
That's the
one's
worst
gonna want to
gambling
hear
shit.
that. Like, no one's gonna want to hear that. Okay.
I mean,
Well, and I'm just gonna be petty here for a second. Yeah, if I hope that they've realized that they need to run the football. Like, I hope that we all are on, I hope that we're all aware of that by now. Because it's
right,
like,
right.
I mean, so anyway, so I'll just leave that where it's at. So outside of the fan base, so what is the most like misunderstood thing, or what is the thing that when you hear Miami come up in conversations, you're kind of looking at them and you're going, y'all are missing this thing, like this one thing that about us or something about us that you don't even talk about it. You're just missing it when it comes to this Miami team.
I think one thing that fans are missing. I think fans are missing the fact that college football is big business now.
Mm,
I think they still treating the money that kids are getting like it's taboo. Like I saw the message board from Alabama saying that Mensah may make $65 million this year, and that's the first time I've heard that number. And then we started doing a deep dive last night with the villains, and it's like, oh, the watch deal is 12 million, and oh, this deal is 5. I don't know if it's 65 million, right?
yeah.
But it's possible that a Mensa could be somewhere around 30, 40 with endorsements, with the NIL, with deals, because he's a quarterback that may be the number one pick in the draft, like Cam Ward
Yeah.
just did. And you can sell that to these companies, right? Hey, listen, you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to attach to this guy early. So I think a lot of college football fans still look at it like they're just paying their way through. No, business has entered the room, and Miami's at the strip club throwing money up, and y'all are still standing outside. Like, is it clean in there? Like,
It wouldn't be okay. Would it be the Miami Hurricanes if we didn't have a good strip club reference in there? So okay,
I'm just saying they got to
right
get
on
with the
time.
program. What's going on here, bro? Big
Yeah.
business, okay? Like
Yeah.
Jeremiah Smith, I don't know, he's probably making 10, 15 million a year. Young little
Mm.
black kid from Miami
Little-
Gardens. You know what I'm saying? Like it's big business, and it's no longer bags under the table, ha ha ha, hush hush hush.
True.
It's
Yeah.
it's business, and they're treating these kids like it's big business, and fans need to catch up.
Yeah. Would you have liked to see, because I know Jeremiah Smith is another, I'm going to call him a kid. I know he's not a kid. Everyone always attack. They're like, they're not kids. But like,
Right.
would have liked to see him just, have a year at Miami just for, just because that's where he's from and just like having that experience. Would you have liked to see that?
The
Or you,
media. Go ahead. What's the rest of the
no, I was
question?
going to say, or are you just kind of like, let him be where he's going to be because that's where he wants to be?
The media person in me, you damn right. I know his dad. Like I'm
That's
the
what
only
I'm
person
saying.
interviewed him in high school. And then I set out. So the media guy in me is like, yeah, come home. Like we were just with him
Yeah.
at the camp the other day, and he said, shout out to Footballville. He's been covering me since I was a jit, and that's on our Instagram. If y'all want to check that out. Um, the media person in me is like, yeah, come home. Now the business guy in me and the person that cares about their family, they've made the right decision. I mean,
Yeah.
God, he's the biggest college football player in college football right now. And they made the right decision. But me, the Footballville side of me, yes, come home. I
Yeah.
don't care about your right decisions. Like I need
Yeah.
you at Miami. I need you at
That's fair.
Miami. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Well, what is a bold prediction you have for this year? Let's not say like get to the like win a natty. Like that should be everybody's bold position. Like I get it. But what is something that you're thinking like that you want to make is just like a bold prediction or something that you're thinking about for this team?
A bold prediction. Miami goes
You,
undefeated in the ACC and win it for the first time. And that's never. And if that
that's
sounds
bold.
weird to people, that has never happened.
Yeah, that's bold.
Like for
That's
people who
bold.
think that that's not a big deal, well, it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Miami
No,
goes undefeated and win the ACC this year.
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So let's get to some of these fun questions. Besides your team, which program are you the most interested in watching this season and why?
NC State,
Ooh, because of CJ Bailey?
CJ Bailey. They have
Oh,
CJ
and
Bailey. They have Popo, Raul Guerrero, the linebacker. They have Chance Robinson, wide receiver.
Mhm.
They have JoJo Trader, wide receiver.
It wouldn't be a Miami show if we didn't talk about JoJo. Okay, like shout out to you for bringing up
Joe
JoJo Trader.
Trader. Bro, listen. They have JoJo Trader. They have Davion Galls. These kids play with each other on the youth
Yeah.
football team along with Jeremiah Smith. Um, Now they're together in college, and JoJo, who came from Miami, who didn't get a chance to get on the field as consistently as he should. I'm I want to watch what their offense do because I know what CJ is capable of. Now he has some guys that he has cohesiveness with, so I definitely have one eye on NC State, man. I want to see those guys do well.
Okay. I love, you know what? Shout out to you for the JoJo Trader drop. You know what? You know that's going to be, yes, you did
Bro,
that.
okay,
I
I got
love
one
that.
bigger for you. CJ was asked about JoJo Trader at the ACC conference, and
Yes.
he went on a whole. So if you go, he went on a whole binge about JoJo and how JoJo has showed up a professional. He's changed who he is. And JoJo's put on a bunch of muscle. So yeah, he talked about JoJo. So I don't know if you saw that clip already, but it was
I
pretty
haven't.
cool.
Look, I'm cheering for JoJo. So JoJo and Ray Ray, like all of them, like
Right,
yes.
right, right, right.
So like I would love to see that. That would be amazing to see actually. So I love
Yeah.
that. Okay, so every team kind of has one thing or maybe a few things that they feel like is standing like in their way from being like the next great team or the next best team. Is there anybody that you would choose from any college football team that you would just take from somebody else's team and add them to the Miami Hurricanes and you are like, this is going to give me a peace of mind that I know for sure, whatever those little bitty things, in the back of your mind that you're kind of thinking about, who would you steal from another team and place them on your team? And you're like, okay, I feel better. Who would that be and why?
Oh yeah, I'll take Jeremiah and add him to Malachi.
Yeah. Add him to the offense.
Yeah, just
Easy enough.
add him to the off, add him in the locker room. I think
Yeah.
what a lot of people don't
Ooh,
understand
good
about
one.
football is it have talent that's on the paper, right? You have stars
Mm-hmm.
talent that's on paper. But what happens in the locker room and the leaders that are in the locker room, I think has had a lot to do with the change in Miami. I was there when Cam Ward walked on the field at Florida and they beat Florida 2 years ago, right? And that was a leader, like a true leader in the locker room, and guys got behind him. Now it's Malachi. Last year was Bain, and to have those guys in the room that you can go to war with and depend on them, right?
Yeah.
And I think you add Jeremiah to something like this, and I think it adds something to a locker room where it's like, hey, we're invincible. We don't give a fuck. We don't care a
Mm-hmm.
fuck what the defense does. Nobody's gonna score as many points with that, right?
Yep.
So I would definitely take Jeremiah, bring him to Miami.
Okay. And then what is 3 words you hope that defines a team season? We're staying away from winning and championships. Like what are some
Three
words that you're looking
words.
at this? 3 words, just 3 random words. I'm a words woman. I like powerful words. This is a
Uh,
selfish question.
no letdowns.
Okay.
Mario last year Mario. Well, Mario has always been the guy that people said would lose games that he shouldn't lose.
Mm-hmm.
And watching that team run through the playoffs, it's kind of hard to see them losing to a Wake Forest on a random Saturday if they're playing at that level. So no letdowns. I mean, they have to prove that they're the team that can go through a season and literally punch people in the face every Saturday. And when
Yeah.
they move, you kick them. Right? We haven't been that team. We've been the team that come in there yawning, let SMU
Mm-hmm.
slam us in the first quarter. No letdowns.
That's good.
You
That's
like
so
that?
good. Yeah. Nah. It's almost like you had that in the back of your mind. You're like, this is what I'm going to say. Like, this is the question. Well, I want to know just because, like, and I didn't prepare for this, but I'm pretty sure you'll be able to answer it. But is there any team on the schedule that you're looking at them and you're kind of going, we better not. This better not be that game. Like if we lose to somebody, it better be nobody wants to lose to Notre Dame ever in life. But I'm just saying, if we were to lose to
Right.
somebody, at least you can justify a Notre Dame loss because you're like, okay, whatever.
It's Notre Dame,
But
right?
but
Going
right,
to
you're kind of
Clemson.
like, okay. But who's the team that you're looking at your count or the schedule and you're kind of like, if if we lose to anyone, it better not be this crap again. Who's that for you?
I have a question. Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Going to Clemson, I was there last time we went there, and they beat the brakes off us. Every time we went there, the last 10 years, they beat the brakes off us.
Okay.
Do you think when Dabo and Clemson thinks about Miami coming to Clemson, do you think they're worried, or do you think Dabo is telling his team, Miami ain't never won here?
I don't think.
Like, what do you think? Huh?
Yeah. No, I don't think he's worried at all. I think so. There are certain teams and coaches that I feel like can out-coach other coaches. It's like boxing. There's always going to be certain guys in boxing that can never beat certain guys or the UFC because it's like they just have their number. And it doesn't matter, if you're the most talented, if you're the most rested, you have the most NFL guy. For some reason, there's just some teams and coaches that seem to have your number. And Dabo's probably feels that way about Mario Cristobal. So I mean, he could be looking at Miami and be like, man, this team is loaded. They're going, they could potentially win a natty this year. But I think also he's thinking, but they got to come see me. They got to come see my team. And so that's what I think he's thinking. But,
it's last time we played them, we beat them at Miami with a freshman quarterback. I don't know what Clemson was going through, but we beat them, barely having any offense. But at Clemson, we haven't beat them there in a long time. So I'm gonna take that trip to Death Valley, and actually beating them there has to happen. This is what I tell the villains. Listen, certain things has to happen. Like haven't happened. We skipped all of it and went to the national championship last year. Now we're back in the ACC. We run around our neighborhood. Kevin around the corner, we've never went around there and beat him up. We gotta go beat Kevin up. Kevin still think he could beat us, no matter he watched us in the national championship last year.
Yeah,
we gotta go beat Kevin up, and then we gotta go beat up Charles over there, who has beat us 8 times in a row. And then we can get back to. But certain things have to happen. We gotta go to Clemson, watch them run down that hill, and kick them in their fucking face. I mean, fine. That's what has to happen. I mean,
you think it'll be has the game time been announced yet? You think it'll be a night game?
Has that game? I for sure. I think it'll be a night game. For sure. I think it'll be a night game. I don't think that game has been announced yet.
Okay. Yeah. It's October 3rd. So who? You know how it goes. Who else is playing October? It really depends on who else is playing October 3rd. Because that's how I feel about our LSU Texas game. Is Who else is playing that day? Cool. Well, is there anything else? Well, first of all, is there anything you want to ask me? Or is there anything else that you want to say? Because people always.
This is what I add to that. This is what we need. We need for that game to start, and for the ACs and for the announcers to say Miami is in Death Valley today, and Miami hasn't beat Clemson in Death Valley in 20 years. If you hear that, we about to beat their ass that night.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's what we need to happen.
Jinx people. Yeah,
right. That's what we need to happen. But go ahead.
Okay. No, I was gonna say, do you have anything else that? First of all, do you have any questions you want to ask me? I don't. I feel weird asking this because I'm like, this isn't my show, but some people have questions. And then anything else you want us to know about Miami that maybe we should know about Miami?
Do you think Texas quarterback is as good as these people say he is?
Today, no. Do I see? So a lot of these predictions are based on ceilings. They're not. That's what I always tell people. They're not predicting how they see him today. They're predicting on how they think he's going to continue to develop. We just don't know where anybody's ceiling is. And so while I understand it, let's be honest, Arch Manning is going to get you clicks. Like he should, no matter what you say about him. So some of this is kind of froofy for me. Like I don't even pay attention. But the other part of me is if you just watch him from last year at the first game to the last game, you did see him get better. And so if you keep seeing that getting better, then okay. But what I sit here and tell you, like, put money down, well, that's a different conversation. What I say, like, Arch Manning is going to win the Heisman and Texas is going to win the Natty because of Arch Manning? No, I wouldn't say that today. I think that's insane, but that's just me.
Okay. No, I just wanted to hear what you thought about that. And I mean, you're right. It could be projection. It could be ceiling. It could be them saying, hey, let's get out in front of this because we think he has the pedigree to be this.
Yeah. And I will say this, and I'm going to say this so many times, people are going to be so annoyed at me because I've said this is just who I am. If Texas is able to win the Natty, I don't think it's going to be because of Arch Manning per se. It's going to be because of the other factors on our team that are going to help Arch Manning get there. So many times we think the quarterback is like the end all be all, and it's like no, everything has to work. You know what I mean? Like it's not Indiana didn't win a national championship because of Mendoza. Now he helped them, but he wasn't the reason. Like they were disciplined. You know, the coaches made great calls at the perfect time. Like they did things right. And so that's why for me, I'm like, don't get me wrong, I know Arch Manning's my quarterback, but I'm like, can we run the football? You know, like, can we kick field goals and make them? Like, can we get stops? So that's why for me, I'm like, I get it because he's a quarterback and that's all we want to talk about. But like, I think football's bigger than that. And I think we do these other positions a disservice when we don't talk about them. Can the offensive line hold? I mean, because if they can't, who cares? Like, honestly, like who cares about an Arch Manning? Like, we saw that last year.
Right.
I mean, so anyways, that's just my personal take on football as a whole, honestly.
Okay, and I got another question for you. Something we couldn't figure out in the Villa membership. The
Okay.
ACC came out with a new tiebreaker, right? And us thinking that they fixed something, right? When we did a deep dive, we realized that it's 4 teams could still end up undefeated in the end, right?
Yes.
Assuming that these guys aren't weirdos and goofballs, why do you think they're doing that? And is it like that in other conferences? I don't know if you can answer this, but I want to hear your take on it.
No, it's not like that in other conferences. The rules are the rules. So the rules are, it's by points. Teams that play each other, and it is what it is. 1 and 2. That's why by the last 2 weeks in the SEC and the Big 10 and the Big 12, they already know you have to win and then you'll get in. You have to win and you get in. I think what the ACC is doing, because Miami's never won the ACC, they are putting in kind of, because did you see the clause where it's like, we still have the right to, whatever how they worded it, right, to kind of jump in and put in the team that makes the most sense or whatever that verbiage was.
Yeah,
I believe that's
right.
Yeah, I believe that it's because they don't believe that Miami can outright get there on their own. So they want that clause just to make sure that it's okay. So that's what I think. When I read that, I was like, okay, this is protection. Doesn't shock me.
So but the 4 teams in it undefeated. Like what they sat out and they did that again. Like why do you think they would do that?
The truth is because they're cowards and they're trying to protect themselves. But the business side of it is they need to make sure that Miami is in there because of the college football committee change rules.
Right.
Because the committee, like now, let's say Miami goes and Miami plays, I don't know, NC State, and NC State wins. Well, NC State is getting in because they've changed the rules. So now they still need Miami though in that ACC championship game so that they have a chance to make it to the college football playoffs, because that's how it's set up now. So I think they did that to protect the teams that they know could potentially go compete in the playoffs. That's my opinion though.
No, I want to hear your opinion. Okay. All right, cool. No, listen, that's all I had. You got anything else for me?
No, I don't have anything else for you. I will put all of your information in the comment section. And can you just explain to people what becoming a villain is? I will also add a link into the description of this episode so that if anybody wants to join that. But whatever you want to say, we will end on you. However, you're the big time. Yeah, so however you want to like tell us all the things, you just let us know. We're here for you. This is all you.
Listen, a villain is okay. So Villain, we created a membership called the Villains. I wanted to get all our followers and subscribers in one place. So we put them on the Discord and we called it Villains. No, we don't rob 7-Elevens late at night. We don't carjack cars. We're not out here fighting against Batman. It was short for Footballville, Caneville, all our vills, and then I took the Ville and called it VILLEN, and then we did VILL''N, and then I just spelled the word villain without the I, VILLAN, because I think with the I it looks soft. So we created a membership called the Villains, which is just a spinoff of Ville, right? And what it is Miami Hurricane fans, right? It's Miami Hurricane fans where they get inside information from us, and our inside information comes like from the community. It comes from our relationships. It's not like we're not guys that went to college and learned how to do media and we out here hiding behind cars trying to get information. Like it comes, it's kind of like grass rooted, right? The way we do media, like the
Yeah.
relationships are grass rooted. It could be a good thing, which could be a bad thing. I mean, um, last year it comes out that Bane killed somebody in a car accident. Well, we knew that. We
Mm-hmm.
knew it, but it's not something that we would report on, right? And because of our relationship to the community and what's expected of us, when I asked around to my reporter friends, and none of them knew, which I was shocked,
Oh,
and which is magnificent for the Hurricanes, whatever the
mm-hmm.
fuck they got going on down there.
Yeah.
None of them knew. None of them knew. So the villain membership is kind of our the way we see media. Flaw was in there for a long time, harassing people, controlling dudes, telling them to go stand in the corner. Um, but it's a different outlook on things. Like I give you one example. Last year we started reporting that Carson Beck wasn't and like after spring he wasn't there throwing and people thought we were crazy, but because of our relationships and who we are, we knew he wasn't there, which was odd, right? But because of
Mm-hmm.
who Carson Beck is and the things he had went through, um he didn't get in there till late. The season starts, he looks rusty at the beginning, and then everybody starts saying that, well, maybe he wasn't there after 4 interceptions at Louisville, and he wasn't there. I mean, but we were the only ones saying it. It's because of
Yeah.
the way we get information, right? The way we
Yeah.
see information, things that we will and won't report on. So yeah, you could become a villain. She's gonna put everything in the description, and it turns into a brotherhood. Like we had
Mm-hmm.
got to a point where, cause cause we have sports conversations, but I never let it get disrespectful. Like don't pull out your virtual gun. You ain't shoot nobody. Y'all in different states. Right. You know what I'm saying? I never let it get disrespectful. So we all have respect for each other. We give each other a chance to speak, and hear each other out, and that's how it's been going on for maybe 3 or 4 years. And then we just had a villain meetup where we met a lot of guys in Atlanta, and it's turned like into a community where we talk about investing and we trade in the stock market and we do live trading and we talk about why we can't get ahead as a people, or what's going on in ICE and with the Hispanics, and we talk
Mm-hmm.
about a lot of things in there, right? A lot of things in there because it's kind of turned into a brotherhood. You can go in there and we're in a Discord talking 5 hours, 6 hours. I kind of tweet it sometimes where it's like I go in there, they're in there 8 hours just talking about, hey man, can
Whatever.
Mensah get 5,000 yards this year for 8 hours?
Oh
And
gosh.
it's and it is what it is. I mean, it's a safe haven for people, man, that we've created. So if you want to be down, I mean, the links will be in the description. But that's what it
Yeah.
is, the villain membership.
Okay. Well, listen, I don't often get a chance to tell you how amazing you are publicly. And I often don't get a chance to let you know publicly how much I appreciate you. And I always tell people, I always listen to anything anybody has to say to me. Even if I don't really like, even if I won't take the advice, I
Mhm.
always listen to every single thing people tell me.
Mhm.
And I think it's important too that, like, once you hear what people, because everybody sees you a different way.
Right.
And depending on how you want to be seen, depends on, what you kind of go, you know what, that's a really great idea. And I don't know if anything that I'm doing right now would have actually grown had I not listened to you say, no, step out there. Like, step out there. Do it. What are you thinking to do? Yeah, uh-huh. Yes. And that too. Like, and so there's just been a lot of times where whether it was a series that I wanted to do, whether it was a collaboration I wanted to do, whether it was just like I just want to say something, whatever it is. So I just feel like we don't often talk about the steps along the way of just the people that you come in contact with that are like, go do that. That's a great idea for you. Or I like that for you, or whatever it is. And you've always done that. So because you're big time, like I probably should feel honored that you even were like, take that risk and do it. But seriously, I just wanted to publicly like let people know that behind anything that I do, there's always going to be a piece of you that has said, yes, you should do that thing. And even if you do and it doesn't work out, it doesn't matter because you did it. And so I just need you to know that I appreciate that. And I need other people to know too that I'm aware of that because I think that sometimes it's like, along
Oh,
the way.
I
Yeah, along
appreciate
the
that.
way. Yeah, along the way, everybody has helped us a little bit, some more than others, but even that little bit is a piece to keep me going. Like, yes, girl, like, what are you thinking about? So anyways, I just wanted to publicly say that I appreciate that. And anytime I can get you tied down to a chair for like 30 minutes, I'm going to be like, hey, by the way, thank you. Like, you're amazing. Like,
I
just,
appreciate
just so
that.
you,
Thank you.
yeah.
I
So
appreciate that. I listen. Y'all hear this heartfelt shit she's saying? Wait till she get 100,000 followers, and I need her to do some shit. We're gonna hold her
no,
to it, okay?
I,
Um,
I'm
you've
going to
came
be
really
there.
far though. You've came really far from the girl who was in there with me and Hayes. Like, hey, when I come online, guys start DM me. They DM me weird stuff, and it's uncomfortable. And me and
That has
Hayes are
not
like,
stopped.
me and Hayes are like, yeah, women don't DM us weird stuff.
Yeah.
That's actually going to work for you in the long run.
Right.
No, you've came really far, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you because it's almost like you. I don't know. You sat in a room one day. It was kind of like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna lean
Yeah.
into who I am, naturally who I
Hmm.
am, and let's see if these people follow. And I remember
Yeah.
clicking on one of your videos one day, and it had a lot of comments and some views, and I was like, let's see what they're here talking about. And these guys been here just lusting all over you. And this was like 6 months ago. And I was like, holy shit, she's figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
But
she
I think
figured it
you
out.
had that figured out. But I think you did before I did. And so that's why I'm saying I think the pouring into people. We don't know what we're pouring, but we're pouring it. And I think sometimes it just takes people to be like, go. Remember, there was things I wanted to do, and I would be like, hey, I have an idea, and you're like, yeah, do it. Hello, yes, yeah. Like, you never said no, and I feel like, because you're big time, obviously, whenever somebody else
Yes.
like can hear your idea, that just it comes out and they're like, yeah, yeah, go do it. And then, you just sitting up here with me and talking, it's kind of like a full circle moment, because there are moments where I was like, I'm not going to ask Street to be the Miami Hurricane. Like, no, he's so busy. And then one day I was like, you want to do it? Like, do you want to be
I really thought that about me. Come
It's
on.
not about you, like, as a human. It's just that I know how
You,
I
you
get when
really
I get
thought
busy.
that I wouldn't.
I
You
didn't think
really,
that
I get
you
what
would
you're
tell
saying. I
me,
get what you're saying.
yeah,
I am busy. Like when I jump off
busy.
here, like I just got out
You have
live,
things to
then
do.
I jump in here with you,
Yeah.
and now my girlfriend wants to go to Goombay. Then I
You have
got,
things to do. Right.
but
So I
no,
never thought
man.
that you would be like, no, because you didn't want to. But
Mhm.
I was like, okay, now he has to fit this in his schedule. And time means something to me. I always tell people when I do these series of any sorts, the most important part to me, I don't even care what anybody says. I don't care, because it's the time. Because you can't get that back. And the fact that
Right.
anybody wants to spend that time with me to talk about their team on something that I just like thought of an idea to put, like, it means so much to me, because you don't get that time back. So yeah, I didn't think that you would say no, because you were like, I don't do anything with her. But I did think that you kind of be like, okay, how am I going to fit this in? Like, where is this going to go? And that's effort. And so that matters to me. But you've never told me no. So maybe I need to get it, and maybe I need to just like start keep asking for real.
No,
Well, there was
I need you
there
to keep
was
going.
one thing, but
I need you to keep going. Right. So yes, I built a platform where there's a lot of followers and I can go viral easy, but I need you to keep going because there's a thing called networks, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And in this space where we're black, right?
Yeah,
Right? There's a
we
lot of
are unique.
rooms you're not going to get in because
Facts.
you don't look like and I'm sure you've experienced it, right?
Mm-hmm,
Because a lot of times people mess with people that look like them,
mm-hmm.
right? So that's why I pour into people that when I see they have potential. Like I know the effect of a woman that can talk football and that's easy on the eyes, and to guys that are going home to women that they want to hit across the head with a hammer. I know the effect that you have on them, right? So I can sometimes see somebody's future
Yeah,
like before, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
before it happens, even if they can't see it. So yeah, I knew what you were capable of doing. Now with everything you're doing, I mean, you're kind of crushing it now, and now it's just being consistent.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's my middle name. Sign me up for that. Anyways, I will put all of your information in the description, and I will obviously, how I do this. It'll be everywhere. Everybody will see it.
Okay.
But I do appreciate your time. I do appreciate you as a human, and I just appreciate you as a leader and you just as a communicator, because those are words that we don't assign to black men often. So I want to make sure that I assign those words to you because you actually are a leader. You actually are a communicator. You actually are an innovative person and you're just a good human. And so I just wanted to say that because like I said, I don't often get to say it publicly. And if I say it randomly, people are like, yeah, okay. Like, what do you know? You don't know him. So,
Somebody told you that you didn't know me.
No, but I'm just, you know how it is, right? Like, what do you know? Like, anyways, I appreciate you. And then thank you so much.
Thank you. Anytime. All right.
Anytime. Ooh.
Anytime.